What is wrong with this guy? Seriously. What is wrong with him? This guy is a disgrace to chess. Complete disgrace to chess. Anyway, all right, what do we have? We have our other favorite topic, which is not what I'm looking forward to. Let's take a look. Someone was talking about Kramnik. Let's see how insane he has become. Let's take a look. What is he tweeting? There we go. He's obviously blocked, as you guys can tell. Let me see. Do I have a better scene for this? Let's see. Yeah, let's move to this scene. Okay, better scene for this. Okay, we obviously have him blocked. So he's full of dribble and garbage and everything else. But let's see. What is he tweeting now? Oh my gosh. This is ridiculous. The point is there's stream chat asked him to show that he showed. I mean, this is another computer. Oh my gosh. Show it now. Show it now or we understand accordingly. Like, what is this? Show it now or we demand it. Who the fuck does Kramnik think he is? Like, seriously. Like, I mean, this is ridiculous. Who made him king of the world? Seriously. Who made him king of the world? Like, who made him king of the world? See, this is why you don't indulge this bullshit, because the moment you indulge this stuff is when then he takes an inch and it's like he's going to start demanding this, that, and the other thing. You know, you have Danya playing with 4 cams. He shouldn't even have to play with 4 cams, but he's trying to basically get to a point where this guy understands. But this guy is so far gone that he's never going to understand. And this is just so sick. This is literally pure cyberbullying. Pure cyberbullying. It's just unbelievable. It's actually unbelievable. Who do you think you are? I am. I mean, this is a million times worse than anything else. I mean, seriously, this is a million times worse. I mean, demanding this, that, or the other thing. After refusing to show his computer from close, great. What is wrong with this guy? Seriously. What is wrong with him? This guy is a disgrace to chess. Complete disgrace to chess. And you know what's but in a way, you know what the karma is? The karma is that in the future, nobody's gonna care who he is because of this. Like, nobody's gonna care. Nobody's gonna care who he is because of this. Like, I mean, it's just insane. Like, Danya just going out of his way to do all these different things with like 20 different cameras, and it's just like, it's so gross. And by the way, the other camera is running OBS, of course, too, because it's like he has 20 different cameras on his stream as well. Like, it's just so disgraceful. Yeah. He said he's satisfied. Oh, please, give me a break. Give me a break. No one should indulge this guy, straight up. This is pure witch hunt. This is like McCarthyism. I mean, most of you guys probably who are watching aren't Americans, but back in the I believe it was the 1940s, 1950s, there was a senator from Massachusetts by the name of Joseph McCarthy, and he led these witch hunts against the commies who basically claimed to infiltrate the U.S. government and everything else. And this is the exact same thing, just in chess. Like, it's a literal witch hunt after everybody, just going after everybody. And I don't think anybody should indulge him. Anybody should indulge him. And you know what's actually even worse about it is that with him doing this stuff, he's basically making it so that nobody's ever going to take cheating seriously again. Nobody's going to take cheating seriously again because of what he's done. Don't slander McCarthy. Okay. Yeah. I mean, it's really disgraceful. I mean, maybe he needs the attention. I don't know. Maybe he needs the attention. Maybe he needs the attention. It makes him feel good in his I mean, he's not even that old, actually. He's only like 50, but maybe it makes him feel good in his old age. Yeah, I mean, it's just on. Oh, it was Wisconsin, I thought it was Massachusetts. It was Wisconsin. I got it wrong. Sorry. But anyway, yeah, it's really just disgraceful. It's disgraceful. Yeah. Bro tweeted again. Tweeted what? Now I'm gonna say he's satisfied after all this. Please, what a joke. What a joke. What a joke. Yeah. Danya is showing the laptop with OBS on a stream and streaming your audio. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it's unbelievable. This is why nobody should indulge it. The moment you start saying this stuff, you should be like, literally, go F yourself. Literally, you should say, go F yourself. Plain and simple. That's all that should be done. Go F yourself, full stop, end of story. Don't give him any time of day. End of story. That's it. Yeah. What would I do about Danya? It's a very tough situation because Danya's not in a situation that I'm in where, for example, I've said it before, but one of the biggest reasons I intend to retire from chess in the near future is because like this shit show is allowed to persist and nobody cares about any of this stuff. It's one of the biggest reasons actually that I intend to retire from chess is because of all this nonsense, because I don't have to put up with it. I don't have to put up with it. This, you guys who want to compare situations, you try to compare this to Hans, you have no idea how different the situations are. I mean, there's a big difference between someone who has cheated and was known to have cheated online, first of all, versus accusing people who are innocent of cheating, who don't have a history. Completely different. But yeah, I mean, I'm being honest. Like, it's a complete disgrace that nobody says anything about it. And honestly, you know how sick it makes me? It makes me sick enough that I'm just like, fuck this shit. I'm just gonna go do my own thing and get out of this very toxic chess world. This is the first bit we're going to cover for everybody who is who's watching the stream. A lot of the Russians have been saying many things. I don't exactly know what the motives are behind a lot of what's being said currently. They're basically accusing anybody and everybody of cheating. They're trying to cast doubt over online chess. Now, I don't know if it's like some grand conspiracy. They're all in cahoots together or what's going on, but none of this is very good. And obviously, at the end of the day, it is bad for chess. But I heard that Nepo said something. So let's see, what exactly did he say? Let's listen. What is this?
Good with some players. With some players, you're not so good. So, for example, I checked my personal records in against some top league players on chess.com, and I think I have equal score, or I'm on equal terms, or in some class with the majority. I mean, okay, I'm hardly ever in a minus.
Ego much?
I'm in some minus
Ego much?
Magnus, but because of our matches, besides a part of the matches, I think.
By the way, I'm sorry. I have to stop the video for a second. I'm on even par with Magnus. That is great, by the way. That speaks volumes. This is a guy who, in the World Rapid and Blitz, has he ever finished in the top 2 or even come close to first place? I don't think he has. And if I just think about myself, because I'm pretty sure he's going to say something about me, no doubt. Like, I tied for first place with Magnus in 2019, I think it was. I lost a tiebreaker to him. I think I finished second 2 or 3 other times. And here you go, having somebody saying, I'm on equal terms with Magnus. I mean, talk about ego much. And this probably leads to a lot of the paranoia on Jan's part. I mean, you hear this and it's just like, excuse me, what are you even talking about, bro? If someone like Maxime said that, even though it's not completely accurate, Maxime is someone who did win the World Blitz Championship, so at least I would have a little bit more respect for that if he were to say that. But at any rate, and yeah, the chat's not working, so whatever. Chat's simply not working, so I guess we'll be writing without chat. See, here's the chat, you guys. For anybody who's wondering, there's chat. But it's not actually working, so I will throw this out the window if I want to be theatrical, whatever, doesn't matter. But it's not working, so I guess I'll just I'll just watch it here. Here on this tab. Yeah, so anyway, the bottom line is you already see the shades of paranoia where Nepo, his ego is through the roof. When he starts saying that he's basically on par with Magnus, this is simply not the reality. He's not on par with Magnus, and he never has been. So you don't respect someone who's never won. It's not about someone who's never won, because I know you're going to turn that around on me. It's more about the fact that if you ask me, do I say that I'm as good as Magnus? No, I think that I can compete with him from time to time, but in no world do I think that I'm like an equal to Magnus or like even better than him. And this says a lot to me about why Nepo is so paranoid when he does poorly online. But let's keep going with the video.
Reasonably well. I mean, okay, like this, I had like very painful match last year in Speed Chess Championship, where he crushed me.
Who is he? Is this me
okay,
or
we
Magnus?
Also played a little bit on lead chess, so okay, of course he's like prevailing, but not that much. And if I check some other top guys, it would be almost every time it would be about 15%, because okay, I'm not sure, like sort of like maybe coincidence, but okay, it's like against Firoji it's maybe like 50%, against Dubov like about 50%, maybe +1 or -1, and so on. And against Maxime, against I don't know, I can check it now, but. This time I would ask you to trust me, but there is one exclusion. Because against Hikaru, I have -100.
Okay.
About 300 games.
Okay.
Decisive games, it's like +200 for him, -100.
Because you don't take it seriously, dude.
And I think I have hardly ever played any bullet against him. And
okay.
Yeah. I mean,
so just say it.
I was quite shocked when I saw this. So. For real.
This is also historical too.
Even worse. So, could be, but of course this is like sort of outstanding.
Okay, keep going. What do you want? I mean, what do you really want to say?
Yeah, but I mean, okay, he's like good Bullies player, but I guess it shouldn't be like 2-1. Yeah, like so like.
It shouldn't be 2-1.
6 plus points is.
It shouldn't be 2-1 over hundreds of games. Okay.
No, I've never played Bullet against him. Only in the match. I don't like Bullet generally. I don't play it. Is it true that Hikaru said that you think he cheated in candidates? What is like the truth? What he thinks, or what I said? Because
I know what he said though. That's the problem.
Is not a tournament where I would expect him.
By the way, I just want to be very clear because we're talking about this. Nepo can try to hedge and pretend, but I've heard both firsthand and secondhand about various events that he's accused me of cheating in. Like I've heard it firsthand and secondhand from people that he's spoken to, and then from people of people. That's the bottom line. So like he can lie and pretend that he hasn't said it, but he has. And this is where actually I'm gonna dovetail very slightly, you guys, and talk about another topic, which I think is really, really important to reiterate. So what I want to talk about for a second before we keep going that's really disappointing about all this stuff is that it's very clear to me that nobody has learned anything from the Hans Niemann situation. It's very, very clear to me that nobody has learned anything from that, because I'm going to be very blunt. Because I've said this, pause the video and talk. The video is paused. What do you mean pause the video? I'm going to be very clear. Like, I had heard many rumors from players about Hans and his so-called cheating, whether it's online or over the board. But the person who really did a good job of like trying very hard to convince me of it was Nepo at the opening ceremony for the St. Louis Rapid and Blitz in 2022, which was about a week and a half or 2 weeks before the actual event occurred. So I really want to say that. I want to stress that first point that I'm going to make, because like I'd heard it from many different people, but he was the first guy where like as a top player, someone that I had a lot of respect for, when he said it, it actually made me start to think quite a bit about what was really going on. So that's the first point I want to make about this. I'll probably say more about this when it relates to the Kramnik video. And you know, one thing, you know, there are two things that I think that that disappoint me about that. And I will say this because I know there are a lot of people who try to equate various things, but you know, the two big mistakes with what happened with the Hans situation, or 2.5, I should say, is that first of all, when people said things to me, I didn't just come out and say so-and-so said this. I didn't really make it, I didn't make it public. I didn't say like, you know, Fabiano said this, or Nepo said this, or, you know, Peter said this, or so-and-so said this. Like, I never really did that. And that was one of the big mistakes, is that I should have simply said that at the time, and I didn't do that. So when I said these things, you know, all these people were saying things, and there are others too. Let's not just stop with that. But is that at the end of the day, when people were saying these things, I didn't say that, then it suddenly becomes, well, I'm saying these things as though they're my opinions, or like I haven't heard this from other people. And what I would say for myself is I learned that, and what I learned from that also is that I expected these people were serious. I thought they were very serious when they made these allegations, when they were saying these things, and they had some kind of proof of what was going on. And at the end of the day, they had nothing. They had nothing. Now, we can debate tournaments like North Carolina or Charlotte or whatever. We can talk about the online. But at the end of the day, I thought when the top GM said this in 2022, that they had actual like proof. There was actually a good, fundamental, logical reasoning behind saying it. And at the end of the day, there simply wasn't. That's the reality. So like, if you ask me about, and this will probably be in the documentary, or I hope it will be, you know, when it comes to the Sinkfield Cup, like I think there's basically 0% chance that Hans cheated. Looking back, I think there's just zero chance. So that's a very important point to make. And the reason I bring this up very clearly is because everybody is doing exactly what they did back then in the present time. These people who are so great at chess, you know, chess is supposed to be this game that makes you think ahead and, you know, like you make good decisions. It's not true. They have not learned whatsoever from any of this. They're all doing the exact same stuff that they were doing back then. So that's the thing that I think for myself, I mean, because I've been thinking about this a bit, that's very, very clear now. Now, make no mistake, Hans is not a victim because he is a cheater. He did cheat. He admitted to it. But at the end of the day, the players have not learned anything from what happened in 2022, and they're doing the exact same thing. Two years ago, we were saying the opposite. I didn't say the players' names. Hans has cheated. Hans has cheated online. That is a fact. If you want to say I was saying the opposite, yeah, I know you're going to go do the Kramnik thing about, oh, but you didn't, you know, like you're trying to be Kramnik. I mean, I looked at the games, okay? I looked at the games. That's the reality. And I said this in the documentary too. It's very clear that the people, what they were saying back then, I mean, I could even give you better examples of like Well, let's not go there. People are talking about even a year ago, even more recently than that. But the point of the matter is that at the end of the day, it seems to me that nobody learned a thing and everybody is still going and doing these same things behind everybody's back and saying all these things and being completely paranoid. That is the reality. That is simply the reality of it. But let's finish the video because I'm going to show you some stats actually, because I have a stat that I'll show after this video ends.
Anyone? Yeah, in being sort of playing too good.
Too good. Okay.
So about the candidate candidates, I think I wasn't like insanely lucky comparing to other guys, but and at some point when I hit like +4, it was of course like much easier for me to play than for others who would fight for the second spot or trying to catch me like Fabiano did. And yeah, I was lucky not to lose 3 lost positions. I had to get one. It was just tough, not lost. But yeah, like I could easily lose at least one of the games against Fabiano, and game in Petrov against Hikaru was, yeah, I was sort of committing the suicide, but somehow he let me escape. Yeah, but let's say yeah, I'm saying I was lucky, but for example in Toronto I had like 6 lost positions, so they didn't lose any. So this is like the
volume should be good, right? Is volume not good? I think volume's fine. I think volume is fine, but you guys tell me if it's not.
Запись, ну, наверное, будет, а почему нет? У меня вроде сохраняются видео на канале.
It's good? Okay, it's good.
Dina spreading rumors, maybe? Who knows? Well, I mean, I'm a bit surprised Dina is taking part in this beef, but I guess, I mean, as far as they know, she's in Charlotte right now, yeah, like, so she's sort of, I think yesterday I saw like she was how to say, yeah, like streaming your like live chess game from the Charlotte Chess Club or whatever. So yeah, I guess well, anyway, she knows better. She's a way more experienced person in everything which is about online, and like streaming and everything. So yeah, whom do we trust? Whom can we eventually trust if we don't trust Dina? Yeah, listen.
Huh?
Какой у меня уровень английского? Ну вот я, как это, good with one, some
I mean,
players.
I don't even know what that means, but you know what? That's a good spot to stop, because Nepo basically is trying to say, well, I performed too well online versus over the board. And this is where, unfortunately, we're going to show a nice little stat. So let's take a look at this stat, by the way, you guys, okay? So let's look at this stat. Lifetime career record that I have against Jan Nepomucci. In classical games, I beat him 3-2 with 9 draws. So I have a plus score in classical chess. But the important point is a line below, which says, including rapid exhibition games, Hikaru Nakamura beats Jan Nepomucci 24-14 with 38 draws. So what is that? That's 5 + 9, that's 14 + 38. Over 52 games, I beat Jan by a +10 score. Like, I dominate him, and he does terribly against me. So the stats don't lie here. And when we look at these stats, it just shows that everything he's saying it's completely wrong once again. I mean, including Rapid and Blitz, yeah, like it's pretty close to 2-1, huh? I wonder why it's pretty close to 2-1. Maybe because I'm just a better player than you are, Jan, and it's your own fault that you're not adequate. So yeah, at the end of the day, that's just the reality. Like look at that. I mean, he's like, oh, he plays too well. Like, I don't play too well. I'm just a better player. That's just the reality. No, of course Nepo's accused me of cheating. He's done it before. He, as many other people try to do, he's trying to hedge his bets and try to be like, oh, I'm not saying this when I am saying this. And I know perfectly well what he said behind the scenes about me. It's nothing. It's not even up for debate. I've heard it from enough people that I know it's not a joke. So yeah, as far as Nepo goes, I mean, I think he out of all the top players, I said this before, and I'll reiterate again, like he also accused Gukesh of cheating. He spoke to FIDE officials, he spoke to the arbiters at the candidates in Toronto, and basically he's essentially saying Gukesh is too good. Gukesh is cheating, and he can't win the tournament on his own. So like, you know, when I heard that, even like to give you a direct example, at the after party, I didn't hang around. It was on the top floor of the hotel there. But even to my trainer who actually stayed, had some drinks, was hanging out, Nepo literally pulled out his phone and he showed some game that he played against Gukesh and was trying to say that it was proof that Gukesh had cheated. So like, I'm literally like, I don't care about these people. Like, I don't care. They're not my friends. And the reality is, like, I'm gonna flame him for these things. I'm just gonna flame him. So yeah, when it comes to Nepo, I mean, I'm not saying people don't have suspicions. Like, even sometimes I have suspicions too, but Nepo is the guy who goes way over the top on every single player out there. And that's just the reality. That's just the reality at the end of the day. I mean, you can say I'm making it up. You can say I'm doing it for clicks if you want to believe that. So be it, but I'm not. And it's really unacceptable. It's completely unacceptable. And you know what's even better about it is that on occasion I have mentioned it to people at FIDE who I've talked to, and they all just laugh it off. They're like, well, that's Nepo, you know, that's just how he is. And to me, that's also a microcosm of how little people understand the damage that's being done to chess is. I mean, the damage that's being done to chess from all of this is not being understood. Because like when you say that to FIDE, and FIDE is like, but that's just Nepo, that's just how he is. To me, that really symbolizes the reality. That symbolizes the reality of the whole his situation. So yeah, it's definitely very disappointing to hear this. As you see from the stats, I am a better player than Nepo. Historically, I play better than him. Now, does that say that he can't beat me? No, of course not. He's a great player. He can beat me. He won 2 candidates. But at the end of the day, what he's trying to imply here is simply just not true. So that's the first thing that I would say. You know, I also want to add something else, and this is something that's very important. So a lot of people who watch my stream, or a lot of people who are looking for the drama, they assume that I say things just because, like, I say things to make them up or do it for clicks. Like, basically everything that I say, it's based off something that I've heard from someone. Like, I do not make this stuff up. And this is also a very important point to reiterate, because at the end of the day, when you look at the world of chess and you look at how you make money, the finances and tournaments and everything else, a lot of the players are very, very beholden to getting invitations to tournaments. So for example, if they're Russian organizers and they happen to like Kramnik, for example, if you piss them off, you might not get an invite to a tournament. So a lot of the top players are very beholden. They have to be quiet. They can't speak their mind, or, you know, what they know on a lot of topics, because if you don't get invites, you don't make a living. And that's simply how chess goes at the end of the day. I make no anecdotes. You know, that's actually something that I've started changing in recent times. You know, there was a good example. There's not really drama or anything, but there was a recent time when I made this comment on my stream about Fisher random chess. It was not 9LX chess, and or not 9LX. I was at a tournament here in St. Louis. I made this comment about how I'd heard that, like, Chinese players were potentially getting taxed up to 80% of their winnings. And, you know, if I make a comment like that, you're thinking, well, he's just saying 80%. That's an insane amount to get taxed. Where's that coming from? He's making it up to get clicks and create something. But like when I mentioned that recently, I said that I had heard that directly from Levon Aronian. So like, I have actually started changing, you know, my tune on that, where it's like, instead of just like keeping stuff like, you know, say so and so said this, where like now I do start to name names. And that's actually the single biggest thing I would say that I learned out of the whole Hans Niemann situation, is that these people who said things to me, like Fabiano and Nepo very specifically, and there were others too, but there's no need to like throw everybody under the bus, or I might as well just take that Gamba sponsorship and never play chess again. But as I was saying, so where was I? Yeah, so I mean, that's the main thing, is that, like, you know, when people say things, it's like it's either it's better just not say it at all, or if you say it, you simply give, you know, you literally say who said what, and that's just the reality. So name drop era, no, we don't need to do that. So all right, let's move on. We're gonna go to the Danya. Actually, we don't even have time for Danya, do we? Yeah, we don't have time. Also, by the way, let's take a look. Let's take a look at the score. By the way, how's this for a stat? So Nepo said I'm beating him by hundreds. Let me save this as an image so that it's not all cropped out, and let me join Title Tuesday as well while I'm at it. Let's go back here. Let's add another image just so you guys can see this. Nepo said he's losing. It's like he said he's losing by 100 plus games. He's not even losing by 100 plus games. Let's pull this up. Here we go. Yeah, he's losing. He's losing by. He made it sound like he's losing like 200 to 100 or something. He's not even losing by 100 games. It's not even. It's not even plus 100. It's 164 to 79. It's not even 100 games. So even here, when he tries to say something, he's simply making stuff up and exaggerating again. It's just crazy. It's crazy that people will say these things, and like I don't really know what's going on at the end of the day. But like it's just so insane to see what's happening right now, and you know, that's just really disappointing. It's really disappointing. So. Yeah, why do I still play Chess Pro? You know, another thing that I haven't said publicly, but I guess I'll say it now because it's as good a time as any. You know, one of the biggest reasons that I don't intend to stick around chess forever, or, you know, when people wonder why do I talk about like retiring from chess in the near future, a large part of it is directly related to all this stuff where, you know, when you see these people acting like complete clowns and idiots, it's like, I'm fortunate. I've been very successful as both a chess player and a streamer. Like, I just don't want to put up with this, you know what, anymore. And so like a large part of why I don't intend to play chess forever is because I feel like as we keep going forward, as the top players get older and older, they're only going to become more paranoid as their skills decline. And I think it's going to be very bad for chess. So that's actually, I mean, I didn't really intend to say this bit, but I would say that is that actually I'm just so fed up with all this. Like, you know, screw this. Why do I even bother? Why do I want to be around any of theyese chess people if they're this insane? So that's a general gist of what I want to say right now, broadly speaking. So. Yeah, all right, we got to get going. Title Tuesday starting pretty soon. We'll go from there and keep rolling. Fair? Yeah, humans remember loss better than wins. Yeah, but it's going to be really ugly as the Indian kids start kicking his you-know-what. It's going to get really ugly for him. It's going to get really ugly. Can you imagine when all these Indian kids, Gukesh and Arjun, all of them are just going to dominate him? Like, it's gonna get really ugly. It's gonna get really ugly, and he's probably gonna think everybody's cheating, and that's how it goes. But anyway, let's move on, and we'll keep going. We're gonna be playing Title Tuesday. Let me change the scene, put the music back on, and let's get going. I think that's enough drama for now, and let's keep rolling.